What's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel once again. My name is Dash Lifestyle. Kindly for watching me for the first time, remember to subscribe, like, share, and also comment. To my returning subscriber, thank you so much for always coming back and watching my video. Thank you so much for the love and support, and greetings to my brothers and sisters all the way from Caribbean country. So guys, in today's video, I want us to listen to this powerful speech from the Prime Minister of Guyana. He was giving this powerful speech during United Nations Assembly, and he shocked the world by his speech, and also he shocked the West. So kindly guys, I want you to watch this speech till the end, then I'll be back with more comment.
We all agree on ending and preventing wars. If it is, we all agree that the Security Council requires reform. If it is, we all agree that the international financial system is unfair and unjust to the developing world. And if it is, we all believe in climate, food, and energy security, then what is stopping us from acting? We will all be doomed in the court of conscience for knowing what is right while ignoring what is wrong. Madam President, of the myriad of challenges confronting our world, climate change threatens our very existence, adversely affecting development across all countries. Rising sea levels and temperatures, severe natural disasters, and shifting and extreme weather patterns disrupt agriculture and food security, threaten water supply, and displace communities. These impacts are particularly devastating for small island developing states. Each year, we make the annual pilgrimage to COP, filled with hope for tangible outcomes. And each year, we are regaled and renewed unkept promises are the order of the day. This cycle of hope, followed by disappointment, cannot continue if the Sustainable Development Goals are to be met. We must break free from this pattern of empty pledges. We must unequivocally and immediately fulfill all pledges for the sake of our planet and the future of all its inhabitants. Let me tell you about my country, Guyana, a country that is 83,000 square miles, 86% of which is tropical forests. Guyana has the second highest percentage forest cover on Earth and one of the lowest deforestation rate. Our forest stores 19.5 gigatons of carbon and sequesters more than 153 million tons annually. According to WWF, Guyana is one of the world's most important countries for biodiversity density. It straddles two of the richest biodiversity zones, the Guyana Shield and the Amazon. As a country, we are dedicated to the preservation of this vital global asset. I especially salute the indigenous peoples of Guyana, the Amerindians, who are the foremost stewards of this great natural heritage. We recognize their leadership, and 15% of all revenues earned from carbon sales are directly transferred to our indigenous communities. Madam President, even with our newfound natural resource, oil and gas, it would require less than 20% of sequestered carbon to offset our emissions at maximum output. We have preserved our biodiversity and know its value. We believe it is only fair and just that this global asset be monetized in a fair carbon market. Today, I am pleased to announce the launch of a global biodiversity alliance. We will convene the first Global Biodiversity Alliance Summit in 2025, which will focus on creating a market for biodiversity credits, scaling biodiversity conservation debt swaps, accelerating biodiversity bonds, establishing a blueprint for biodiversity taxonomies, and promoting nature-positive action. We do not make this announcement by mere words. Guyana is also committed to doubling its protected areas by December 2025 and achieving the global biodiversity target of 30% by 2030. These are real solutions that Guyana is putting forward to address the global problem of biodiversity loss. We do not lecture, we lead by example without arrogance. Madam President, according to the UN Food Security and Nutrition Report, in 2023, an estimated 28.9% of the global population, 2.3 billion people, were moderately or severely food insecure. The primary causes were conflict and insecurity, extreme weather events, including those related to El Nino and climate change and economic shocks. To effectively address food insecurity, we must take more concerted action to address its root causes, reducing conflict, mitigating climate change, and enhancing food production and trade in food commodities. By prioritizing peace and climate action, we can create environments where food systems, crops, and livelihoods are not threatened by conflict and weather extremes. In turn, enhancing food production and ensuring fair and efficient trade in food commodities can reduce food insecurity. So too can the full involvement of women and youth. In Guyana's National Agricultural Strategy and Policy, at least 35% of our agro-businesses will be owned by women and 60% by young people. While I've spoken of food insecurity, the global malnutrition rates are also alarming and must be addressed. Nutritious, safe, and sufficient food are crucial to a healthy population. Madam President, the United Nations must continue to be a beacon of hope amidst a turbulent global environment. The theme of this year's assembly, and I quote, "Leaving no one behind, acting together for the advancement of peace, sustainable development, and human dignity for present and future generations," end of quote, resonates with the vision set out in the United Nations Charter. This vision demands decisive action and enlightened multilateralism. Today, we find ourselves in a world where the quest for peace is met with a defiant echo of conflict, where the promise of sustainable development is eclipsed by the dangerous specter of climate change and food insecurity, and where the dignity of millions of people is trampled upon with impunity. In Ukraine, the sovereignty and territorial integrity of a nation are being violated. Yet, decisive action by the United Nations Security Council remains fettered by the veto. Justice demands that we defend the territorial integrity of all states, large, small, powerful, and weak. Equally concerning is the conflict in Sudan, which rages on with devastating consequences for the people of that country, including famine and mass displacement. This conflict will continue to undermine efforts to achieve lasting peace and sustainable development. This Assembly must also condemn the continued oppression and persecution by the Taliban of women and girls in Afghanistan, who face not just lack of access to education and restrictions on their movements, but now even their voices cannot be heard in public. Closer to my home, CARICOM has been actively supporting a Haitian-led process for the restoration of democracy, peace, and stability in Haiti. We welcome the deployment of the UN-authorized multinational security support mission led by Kenya as a crucial step towards stabilizing the security situation. We call on the international community to urgently scale up financing for the MSS and secure its renewed authorization so that the mission can succeed. We must also address the dire humanitarian situation where almost half of Haiti's population suffer from acute hunger, mass displacement, and women and girls are enduring brutal violence, including sexual violence. Guyana is leading CARICOM's effort in mobilizing humanitarian effort and support for Haiti. Excellencies, I'll be reaching out to you for your support. We must stay the course with our Haitian brothers and sisters in their quest for durable peace and sustainable development. The people of Haiti deserve nothing less. Madam President, peace, stability, and safety are no more imperiled than in Gaza. Guyana reiterates its strong condemnation of the October 7 attacks by Hamas on Israel. However, the collective punishment of an entire population, including the indiscriminate slaughter of civilians, most of whom are women and children, has long gone beyond the realm of self-defense. As the world watches on helplessly, Israel continues to flout its international obligations, including the orders of the ICJ and successive Security Council resolutions. Instead, the right of self-defense is being used as a weapon of mass extermination, stoking legitimate fears of genocide. No state, large or small, should feel comfortable and safe when such atrocities are allowed to continue with impunity. The war in Gaza must end now. We reiterate our demand for an immediate ceasefire and the release of all hostages and Palestinians illegally detained. Madam President, for more than 75 years, the Palestinian people have been denied their right of self-determination. We must advance the two-state solution as this remains the only viable option for a future where Palestinians and Israelis live in peace and security. Turning to our brothers and sisters in Cuba, their right to development continues to be stymied by the economic embargo. Guyana renews its call for revocation of the embargo and the removal of Cuba from the list of state sponsors of terrorism. Madam President, the United Nations has a special responsibility for the security of small states. Small states look to multilateralism and the rule of international law to protect them from foreign aggression. Guyana is a small state that has had to contend with aggression from the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela for all 58 years of our nationhood. International law and its strict application have been our armor and our shield in our determination to protect ourselves from this aggression. We remind this August Assembly that the border between Guyana and Venezuela was fully, finally, and perfectly settled in an 1899 award by an international tribunal. Venezuela was fully represented in that tribunal, whose award it proclaimed in its own Congress and welcomed for more than 6 decades, before reopening the issue on the eve of Guyana's independence, claiming 2/3 of our territory. This controversy, initiated by Venezuela, was submitted by Guyana to the International Court of Justice in accordance with a decision of the United Nations Secretary General and consistent with our position to settle this matter by legal and peaceful means. In 2023, in light of intensified acts of aggression by Venezuela, the ICJ issued provisional measures stating that, and I quote, pending a final decision in the case, the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela shall refrain from taking any action which would modify the situation that currently prevails in the territory in dispute, whereby the Cooperative Republic of Guyana administers and exercises control over the area, end of quote. After years of refusing to participate in the proceedings of the ICJ and stating that it does not recognize the jurisdiction of the court, the Venezuelan government has now submitted a counter memorial to Guyana's submission. We welcome Venezuela's decision to participate in the court's proceedings and express the hope that Venezuela will accept the decision of the court, as Guyana has long pledged to do. I reaffirm Guyana's unwavering commitment to a peaceful resolution of this long-standing controversy in full conformity with international law and the principles set forth in the United Nations Charter. Madam President, peace, development, and human rights are pillars of the United Nations. We all aspire for a form of multilateralism that is equitable, inclusive, and ensures that no one is left behind. Women's participation in leadership in private and public sectors are integral to this. There is a growing movement in the developing world calling for the democratization of global political and economic relations. The disproportionate concentration of power favors a few powerful nations, whilst marginalizing the voices and concern of the broader international community. Developing countries are justly demanding more inclusive and representative decision-making processes in institutions and organs such as the UN Security Council, the World Bank, and the IMF. The World Trade Organization must also be reformed to ensure fairer trade for developing countries. These reforms must go beyond fair representation and ensure that the policies and practices of these institutions align with the developmental needs and aspirations of all countries. In the emerging global order, we must ensure the United Nations remains at the forefront of global governance. If multilateralism is to trump unilateralism, the UN's role as the world's foremost multilateral organization is pivotal. With the necessary resources and resolve, the UN can ensure a future of peace, sustainable development, and human dignity. The future we seek, a future where no one is left behind, demands courageous action. The UN must fulfill its role as a custodian of greater global peace.
So guys, I hope you have listened to that very powerful speech from the Prime Minister of Guyana. He was giving this speech during United Nations Assembly, the UN, and also you have heard what he has come out and say about the Guyana. Guyana, it is ready to help some of the neighboring country, for example, the Haiti. The Prime Minister of Guyana, he has support what the Kenyan police they are doing in Haiti. And also recently we saw that the Jamaican soldier also they have joined Kenyan police in Haiti. They are trying to bring peace in Haiti, and also he has condemned what is happening in Haiti in terms of the how the Haitian people, they are going through a lot of things. He has come out and say the mothers, they are crying, the children, they are crying, they cannot go to school, and also a lot of people, they cannot do businesses. A lot of people, they are leaving Haiti they are running to their neighboring country, because in Haiti they find it difficult to stay because of the war that is going on in Haiti. And also he has come out and said that he is ready to support the Kenyan police and Jamaican soldiers so that the peace can be maintained in Haiti. And also he has condemned what is happening in Gaza, in Cuba, in Israel. So the Guyana, it is also ready to help some of the country that it is they are now fighting. And also, guys, I want to tell you that I can see right now the Caribbean country, they are joining hands to help the Haitian people to maintain peace and order in their country. And this is a good move from the Caribbean countries. Seeing Caribbean countries coming together and help their neighbor country, it is a good move by this other country. But this country, they should know what is happening in Haiti before going and try to fight the Haitian people. They should go there and support. They should give their full support to the Haiti people, because we know that Haiti people, they are fighting back their country. They want the people who are benefiting from their country to live out their country, because this fight that is going on in Haiti, I keep on telling you that it is because of the colonizers, it is because of the oppressors, it is because of the white who are now making the Haiti leader to be, they are controlling the Haiti leader, they are turning the Haiti leader to be puppet. And this is one of the reasons to why the Haitian people, they are fighting, because for the longest time, the Asian people, they have not been enjoying their country. They are not benefiting from their country. The people who are benefiting from their country, they are the outsiders, they are the colonizers. And that's why they are fighting their country back. And also they are fighting so that their children can be living in a good country, in a country whereby all these are equal right. All people, they can have the access to those things that they need to access it. And for me, seeing also the Guyana Prime Minister coming out and give the support to the Kenyan police and Jamaican police to what they are doing in Haiti, it is also a good move. But they should not go there and fight. They should go there and help these Haitian people. They should not go there and fight the black people who are in Haiti, because I understand that Haiti, it is a predominantly a black nation. The same way in Jamaica, it is a predominantly a black nation. Also, Guyana, a lot of black people, they are in Guyana. So all these three countries, they are having a black people, and they should go and support them. They should go and give them their full support. They should maintain peace. They should bring peace in Haiti, but they should not kill or fight the Haitian people. They should help them to retain back their country. That is the message that I want to portray out as a black people, because we as a black people, we as a black country, we as an African people, we need to come back and unite. We need to unite. We need to come together so that we can be stronger, because I understand the biggest fear from the West, that they are having right now, it is not to unite the black people. They are fearing us black people to unite, because they know if we black people will come together and unite, they will lose a lot of things. These people, they depend to this black country. They depend in Jamaica, they are depending in Haiti, they are depending in Africa, in some of the African country. These people, they are still milking the African country. They are still milking some of the black countries in the Caribbean, and that's why these people, they don't want to leave this black country. And for me, I want to tell my all black people, wherever you are watching me, to come together. We should unite. I want to see the black Americans supporting the black people in the Caribbean, the Afro-Caribbean, and also the African people to support the black American and the Afro-Caribbean, so that we can come together, we can unite. And also I keep on telling you that we as a black people, when we will be coming together and start to develop our country, Africa, it will become a big continent. It will become a rich continent in whole world, because we have a lot of resources. We have every resources, and that's why these people, they are fearing us being united, because they know when Africans, they will unite, they will start developing their own country. And also by being developed their own country, we as African people, we as black people, we will not leave our country to go in their country to look for more work, so that we can be living in a good life. No, we can still make it when we are here in Africa. We can still make it when we are in Jamaica, when we are in Guyana, when we are in Haiti as a black people. So I want to tell that black people, we should come together. We should also support our country that they are still experiencing fight, and also we should give our full support. So kindly guys, like this video. If you haven't subscribe, then see you on my next one. Bye bye guys.